Hi, I'm Lige Johnson, here today talking with Rob McLeod about Guts Frisbee. This weekend is the 57th annual International Frisbee Tournament in Calumet. We're playing together this weekend with some other very important Frisbee players, and Rob's asked me to share a little bit about Guts Frisbee and how I got involved. So the story is simple. The IFT in 1975 and 76 was held in Marquette at Cliffs Ridge ski area, and I was 12 years old when I attended my first one. My older brother and sister were babysitting for me, and it was pretty much in our backyard. So we went as a group, and shortly after arriving I met what ended up being some very important people. John Davis, infamous IFT person, tournament director, and his family. He had a son that was approximately the same age, and I was asked to participate in the Frisbee tournament in the junior division. And I was shown the disc and taught the rules, and I went back into my neighborhood for a couple hours, recruited some local kids, and we showed up an hour later to play in our first Guts Frisbee tournament. There were only 3 teams that year in the junior division, and I think that was the only year that the IFT included a junior division. It was a very impromptu thing that they did, spur of the moment thing that they did, and they never did it again. But nonetheless, that was my introduction into Guts Frisbee, and I watched the teams, the Library Bar, Motor City Frisbee team from Detroit, some of the California guys, John Kirkland, Victor Malfront. They were the Berkeley Frisbee group, I think was what they were playing at the time. And to make a long story short, I was very fortunate because continuing playing into my adult years, I got the opportunity to win some tournaments. I'm a 2-time world champion, WFDF world champion 1990, 1992, runner-up in 1994, participant in 1996. And this is my 40th year of playing Guts this year, and well, might be my last. But there's been a lot of very interesting, fun stories along the way. I've won the International Frisbee Tournament, the one we're attending this year, twice on different teams, and that's the kind of granddaddy of all of them, even though the World Championship titles are pretty impressive also. And they were a lot of fun traveling to Japan and Norway with players like John Bogoski and Bill Bogoski and Larry Letts, Buck Buchanan, the late Buck Buchanan. Made for some really great times and really great stories. The game is very simple, you know. It's throwing and catching, high-speed throwing and high-speed catching. But it's much more complicated than that. There's unbelievable amount of strategy involved, as well as execution. It's a high adrenaline game. It's perfect for adrenaline junkies, and it's a great spectator sport. The game started as a family picnic up in the Calumet area, the Copper Country, Eagle Harbor, Michigan, back in the 1950s. So the game's roots are traced way back to a family picnic gathering by the Healy brothers, who to this day there are still some Healys, grandchildren of the original guys that still play. To be continued.